Adina, bonk.
Hi, everybody.
I just want to mention we have a private chat here on StreamYards, and good thing it's private.
However, what's not private is that we're going to have to make some picks and analyze some picks made, as we have two things to cover in the sports disaster. Hell, lead us in.
Actually, Duck was the one that set it up, but whatever.
Do it anyway.
Let's start with... Actually...
We got some hockey bullshit to cover. We got some football shit to cover, including some lacrosse for the first time in a while on this show.
Yay, lacrosse. Football ripoff.
Alright.
Hey.
Alright, let's...
That's more of a hockey ripoff.
To be fair, it is a hockey ripoff.
It's
Actually,
both.
no.
But
Lacrosse was here early before hockey.
But you know what?
Alright, shut up. Let's get...
Here's the question.
But
Who's
with that
going to
said,
get
we're going
ripped
into
off?
We're going into NFL first.
Yep.
First
Hey,
and draft.
We
If you
have the
recall-
draft.
If you recall, the 2022 NFL Draft continued in Las Vegas. All 7 rounds are now complete. Now we must shit on everyone.
But first,
Including-
let's get one big highlight out of the way. The University of Georgia has set an NFL record for most players drafted from a single school. 15 Bulldogs have been drafted to the NFL.
Including 5 defensive players in the first round alone.
Nice.
That doesn't
That's
shock me.
also a record.
Not to
Alright.
mention, and some of the highlights of that, including the first pick in that draft going to the Jaguars.
Yeah, that
Massive
was-
props to the Georgia Bulldogs and that football team. With
Yeah,
the
that
final
was
one
rather
being
shocking.
John Fitzpatrick sent to the Falcons.
Alright, with that said, though,
All
please
right.
laugh at Jacksonville for deciding to blow it.
Mhm.
What'd they do?
Their first overall pick.
They passed up on Aiden Hutchinson, and instead they went with Trayvon Walker.
Hang
They
on.
had the first
Bulldogs.
overall pick, so here's
Hold-
what happened, Sep.
Hold the bus. Hell, before you do, you have the little disclaimer beforehand. Run it.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
The disclaimer.
disclaim it.
Wait.
Hang on, I gotta do an edit real quick.
Damn it.
Dang it, Health.
Someone blew it here.
You blew it. You had it all. You blew it.
Alright, here we go.
Anyways,
With that said, prepare for saltiness from the men of the disaster and the associates. Do not take what we say seriously, unless you are Canucks fans.
Eh,
in which case we pour out a cold one for you.
You
Even
get
if
no
don't have
sympathy for
alcohol
Vegas
in
fans.
yeah.
Yes, but in the meanwhile, let's get back to the draft. And I'm actually not going to laugh at the Jacksonville Jaguars because, for one reason, I thought they were going to pick another quarterback because I thought they were going to pull the Kyler Murray after Josh Rosen thing.
No.
Really?
Like,
Trevor
Oh.
Lawrence?
Balky
No.
isn't that bad. He might be an idiot, but he's not that bad.
Yeah.
it's Trent Baalke and Shad Khan. I was expecting them to absolutely make us laugh at them, and what they did, it was not as laughable as I thought. I thought they were going to go the whole like. My thought was they're going to do worse than the Matt Patricia era Lions. That's how
They're not.
bad I thought they was going to be.
No.
But
They're not
instead
Dave
they
Gettleman.
actually-
They're not that stupid.
And then
I was
that's
thinking.
Steve
I was
Kine.
thinking. Not Marty Morningweg. Matt Millen.
Pourquoi?
Matt
Perfect
Millen.
timing. And with that said, the
That is a
Packers
name.
decided to ship the bed this draft, after the first round, and I'm gonna say, congratulations, you had the worst draft in your entire franchise, I think.
Who, the Packers?
Really?
Wait,
How
They-
so?
What? How so?
They blew on getting a wide receiver on the first round.
That's
They got,
right.
What?
they got Christian
Well-
Watson in the second round.
They got
Yeah,
Christian
but-
Watson in their
Still
first pick in a
giant
second,
stick up
and not to
butt.
mention, I want you to look back at that draft. How many they would have gotten a wide receiver?
They did got
However, I don't
Christian
know if you
Watson,
recognize this,
but guess what? They
But
passed
from the
up
Falcons
on George
onward,
Pickens.
every pick
One at a
went
time.
down to wide receiver.
Adina. Duck has the floor.
No, Adina said it first.
All right, Ardina, go. Whatever. Ardina,
Yeah.
go.
So from the Falcons pick of Drake London, why would you take a wide receiver when your wide receivers 1, 2, 3, 4, your top 5, 6, your first 6 wide receivers that are all first round caliber talents all get taken in the first round ahead of you, and you can come back into the second round to get the wide receiver you want. It makes
Yeah.
perfect sense to go for that because all your wide receivers in the first round were off the board by the time it got to you. It makes sense.
It's a, yeah. Of course, the big thing here is they're just saying the Packers should have drafted a wide receiver in the first round. If they did, they would have drafted Christian Watson, who they still got in the second round.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
How's that?
I'm also just gonna say this: the Green Bay Packers, to me, are going just draft aside, are probably in the strangest spot possible because they had a quarterback who wanted out. They decide to keep him around for some strange
Explicit
reason.
reason.
I mean, yes, you could say the money, but at the same time, you made the core around him not that great, and now you're expecting a lot of players.
The goat's gone.
Who is gone?
You're,
Got it.
you're expecting
Ow.
quite a few players who you have no idea what they're going to be like coming out of college to suddenly come in and be productive. To
Go
me,
Cubs.
I just don't really know what to make of them. Do they think they can be good? Yes. Do I think they could also absolutely tank? Yes. But do I think they did bad? No. It's just that they're in that weird spot. Okay.
All right. And with that said, however, I think we do have something to do. I think there's one song that I have to play at this point for a couple of our Steelers fans in the building.
Don't do the Yinja mode.
No, you have to, because Tree was excited for this.
Do not,
But
because
look-
here's the thing. I watched that pick later. I saw Tree's reaction. I look at this, and I'm going to make the bold prediction. They just picked Mason Rudolph again.
Damn.
Mason.
Wow.
Here's the thing. With the system I saw, Rudolph had Rudolph had Oklahoma, and Pickett had Pitt. They weren't too dissimilar. So, if we're going off the system that fits Trubisky best, it would absolutely stifle Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett, absolutely phenomenal, but he's dare I say, he's more of a gunslinger, kind of the guy you expect to improvise or
He just
throw
beats
throw
it.
long. Yeah, I hate to say it, but he's kind of Mahomes-ish, and a Mahomes-ish player in the Steelers system will not work. We saw it with Rudolph. We saw it with Hodges after a couple games. What the Steelers are basically quicksand.
Although I'd like to say this about the whole thing. Like Rudolph coming out of college was not a bad prospect at all.
Absolutely.
He just died 3 times in one season.
He just found
That's
the
gonna
wrong
rattle-
fit for him.
Yeah, that's just going to
As
be any
for-
guy. And if Pickett is the same guy that Rudolph was supposed to be, I think that's kind of exciting. Doug Hodges, he just had a weak arm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just see
But-
this as the Steelers.
And speaking of Doug Hodges, the legend has retired from football.
Yeah.
F.
Deck.
And Kenny Pickett definitely improved, especially with his senior year in Pitt, leading them to a BCS bowl game.
Yes.
Didn't he drop out of that
And-
bowl game?
Especially, but
Yeah.
and you also got to add in the fact that the Steelers did add in some offensive linemen before the draft with Mason Cole from the Vikings and James Daniels. So, yeah, they got some O line, and
I like
that's why they didn't focus on that in the draft. and which is why we also drafted 2 QBs instead of 1, because we also got a quarterback from South Dakota State.
Like Chris Oladukin
Yes.
Ooh, yeah.
And
Like
you
from
know
an
what that
FCS
means?
from an FCS school.
You know what that means? Mason Rudolph, bye-bye.
Nah, I think Chris Oladukin's just the camp body. Chris
Yeah,
Oladukin's going to get
It
cut
might be.
for the
Watch Mason now. Now that this being said, watch Mason Rudolph goes to like a Kansas, like a Miami or somewhere where he'll be able to thrive and just absolutely torch the rest of the league because the Steelers fans hate him so much. Just
Wouldn't
watch
be
that
the first-
happen.
I
Wouldn't
don't
be
see
the
it
first time
happening.
that happens.
There's not many quarterbacks can revive their careers like Ryan Tannehill did.
Yeah, but it'll still be amusing, and it'll really expose how bad the coaching staff in Pittsburgh is, especially with how cheap Art Rooney is.
Oh, like TJ Watt being the first player to have a contract signed beyond like the first, like after the first one's over.
Yeah.
I mean that's saying something about the Steelers because
Yeah.
TJ Watt, as we've seen, generational player, won Defensive Player of the Year, but yet if the Steelers stuck to their ways, they would have let him go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also, here's a little bit of Steelers trivia. Guess who the highest paid offensive player on the Steelers is right now?
It's their fullback, isn't it?
Derek Watt is the highest paid
it's their
offensive player.
fullback.
It's not even kissing titties. It's Watt.
Damn.
Impressive.
All right, and with
A
that said,
special
Freaking
teamer.
Watt brothers, dude.
boys,
Yep.
I do want to say
Yes,
this.
sir.
I believe it's time that we choose who this year the Tanks are going to be rolling for.
Can I?
It's still gonna be like the usual suspects: Jacksonville, Houston, Detroit.
Not this year's
just
going to be.
because
I concur.
Yeah, really?
I concur.
I
Objection?
concur as well because I know that Seattle's going to be in this running too.
Oh, yeah, Seattle's gonna be in the
Seattle's
running.
deep
I-
into the tank.
They lost
I actually
Wilson.
have some things to say first. First off, Atlanta and Seattle are going to be racing for the bottom of the barrel. Believe me, Atlanta's in a bad position. But I'm going to go for a little bolder here. I think the New York Jets are actually going to not be in the race for the bottom. I actually think they're going to be competing for the midfield.
Oh, the worst.
And the Lions as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lions not yet.
Go.
Lions.
The
not
Jets
yet.
are honestly. I've got to get into some things first. So
Fair.
first, I want to get 2 things out. Wait, first, the shorter one is: did anyone? Who the heck are the New York Jets GM, and why the heck haven't they hired this guy sooner? Seriously, this guy is fleecing people left and right, taking all their players, all their picks, and turning them into gold. What are you doing, New York? You're not supposed to do this.
I'm
You're
all
not
for it.
so good.
I'm all for it.
They're gonna fire him in a
Joe
year.
Douglas is a GM wizard. He's a wizard, Harry.
Also,
I know who his
don't
mentor
forget.
was. He actually came from the Philadelphia organization. He actually was Howie Roseman's right-hand man. for a while.
Oh,
That
was how he-
explains a lot.
that explains a lot, actually.
Yeah,
Hey,
also,
guys,
when we're talking about GM's
Yes.
fleecing, no,
Yes.
no, Mitch Trubisky isn't going to the Jets.
The thing is,
no, it ain't. No,
Mitchell
no, but
Trubisky's not going
Jets
to
are going to be
Jets.
so
Are you
good.
drunk?
They're going to be titty kissing.
Yeah, I think the Jets actually won this draft with some of the end of the
Yeah.
Lions. The Lions did as well. Like, I am really impressed with the Lions drafting.
Yeah, we're talking about fleecing here. Look at the Lions GM. Back-to-back years just owning teams.
One of them
and
being
with
the
that said-
Cowboys.
Hang on, I do have to say something though. And remember, their coaching structure is also pretty good this year as well.
for Detroit,
Yeah.
For Detroit,
Yeah.
there's one thing I'm going to
Yeah.
say about Detroit.
They
Believe
have
in the-
they have the best man. Well, Chicago decided to stick something up their fans and it's what derrieres.
Detroit
And also-
We don't want to.
And also, Detroit has the game plan.
Yeah, Dan
also-
Campbell is the right guy for the job. But Mago, what you got?
For me, I can say this. Seeing as I've heard a bunch of stories from my dad when he was watching NFL a lot, I've always heard Detroit was always great in the 90s. Like, they had a bunch of success under Sanders and made, like, the playoffs. For Detroit's success, that was, like, Super Bowl a lot of times, but they never made it to the Super Bowl, but they considered it Super Bowl because of
They
how
never even
long
made it
how
to
much
the
success they
second
had.
round.
Pretty much, Detroit, I'd have to say, this is the brightest they've looked since the 90s.
Oh, yeah. And Dan Campbell is a phenomenal head coach. He just had,
Yeah,
this guy is passionate.
yeah,
Hang on.
yeah.
Permission
Yeah, they have
is-
an amazing
Look,
GM and
look,
amazing
hey,
head coach.
Dinner become dinner.
But
How do you
But now
All right.
for the thing that I want to get to myself, the Falcons draft.
There you go.
That one, I'm going to be honest, I was not. We're in a rebuild, and for what we want to do and what the future might be, I really love the Falcons draft. And it starts with the first pick, Drake London. That one I've heard was very controversial.
I think Drake
What
London,
way?
with who he is, as difficult as it is to say this, he seems like the perfect guy in terms of scheme fit for Atlanta.
Yeah,
Alright.
if anyone remembered the Titans offense and how it operated with the Titans offense,
Yep,
Arthur
remember
Smith
the
seems to be
Titans.
taking what he worked in Tennessee and incorporating it to Atlanta. So Drake London is poised to be the AJ Brown for Atlanta.
Yep. And
Which
speaking
honestly, if we're getting in, I've heard NFL comparisons get the comparison that this guy Drake London is very similar to Mike Evans. And not to mention, let's put into perspective, how many teams can stop a team that has both Kyle Pitts and Drake London going down the field in short route slants?
I'd say
You?
it's if they can get them open for that.
That's not. I mean, the thing is, you're getting these guys who have contested ball catches, and you're playing with a guy like Mariota and the other guy.
Yeah,
And
Desmond
honestly,
Ritter.
it makes perfect sense to go with Desmond to go with the Drake London pick. It really is a smart pick. But the one that I found the most controversial, and the one that I don't get why people hate, is their third rounder. And the one that got the biggest controversy of it, Desmond Ritter over Malik Willis and Matt Corral.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just going to give this. Third rounders is where you usually find backups. And it's not a bad thing if you're an NFL backup. Let's get this out of the way. It's not bad if you're an NFL backup. Right?
Maybe. Also,
Never know.
from Kirby's opinion, the NFC
Yeah,
Giants have basically
The
pulled
Giants
the
had a
Utah out of
great
their
draft.
ass.
absolutely.
What do you have to do when you think?
That is a shocking sentence to say.
I
Absolutely.
think
Didn't
that,
come out of our mouths.
I kind of disagree with it.
There's
Because I find the Eagles having the best draft weekend.
Here's the thing to me. In looking at both of them, while the Eagles have had a strong draft, in the recent history they've had, they haven't done too terribly. The Giants, on the other hand, have had a reputation under Dave Gettleman to botch picks. So
Yeah.
seeing almost a 180 from the Giants' way, it makes them look a lot better. That's not saying the Eagles didn't have a good draft. That's saying that the Giants somehow, some way, found a way to reverse their fortunes in the draft that have more or less hurt them the past few years.
and I
Mhm.
actually know why that happened. They actually hired Howie Roseman's other right-hand man who replaced Judge. They brought him in from Philly again.
Nice.
And
Nice.
speaking of that, how good is Howie Roseman doing at fleecing the Titans?
Yep.
I
You
wouldn't
got
say
only a
hold off.
first for AJ Brown and not even a high first?
Yep.
I wanna
AJ
get-
Brown, Jordan
Dana,
Davis.
if it's okay with you, I want to get Kirby in here because
Oh,
we're gonna
please.
talk.
Yeah,
some
yeah,
shit.
yeah. Talk about the
Miguel,
Eagles.
you don't mind if we do the swap on you?
I just want
Swap
to say
me out.
if I want to say my opinion real quick.
Oh yeah, go
Help
ahead.
you out.
The
All right.
receiving, the
All right,
updated
Zeb
weapons
volunteered.
the Eagles have gotten to the receiving core, they have a legit. Their receiving core is this: you now have Hurts throwing to AJ Brown, Devontae Smith. That allows Quez Watkins, Pascal, and the other two receivers, whoever they pick, to get more catches. Plus, they got drafted that rookie tight end. They got Goddard. They got a legit tight end too. And I mean, they look pretty good across the offense. Like they've improved a little bit. I think we're going to see it go boom.
But none of this matters if Hertz can't really get it together.
Oh, here, Kirby,
Then
get off the Hurts. Get off the Hurts. Disrespect.
Shut
Let's
I-
see.
let
What?
me finish. He was. Everyone can admit he was the
Calm down
epitome
before
of
issue.
mid this year. He was the epitome
Calm
of mid.
Yeah.
If he can't get past that, Philadelphia is going to get somebody who will, and they might already have that guy on the roster in one Carson Strong, who,
Or Gardner Minshew.
here's the thing with Strong. If he didn't have the knee problems, he'd have been long gone.
Yeah.
He would
He
have.
has elite arm traits. It's just that you worry how long his knee will hold up.
Yeah. Kirby, here's the thing. I'm gonna say this. I agree with you on this, but I agree with you partially. When it comes to the Carson Strong thing, I compare him to Jason White, a dude who won the Heisman and was great at Oklahoma, but had 2 ACL surgeries on both his knees. Honestly, here's the thing: White made it as an undrafted free agent. He would have been a top pick, or at least in one of the first 3 rounds. But the ACLs pretty much scared everyone off. He didn't play a single snap because of his knee injuries. I'm worried the same thing's going to happen to Strong. They both had good arm talent, and they both had success in college. Just the fact being the knee's going to hold him back. That's my one concern with Strong. I feel like he's never going to see the field if he has lingering knee issues. And I mean, that's my one opinion. But as for Hurts, this is his make or break year. This is like his make or break year. If he breaks out and probably leads back to the playoffs and improves, he's probably going to get some big bucks, or at least be given another year. If not, they have 2 first-round picks they can use on a quarterback, or they can do whatever the heck they want. So
I love it. A quarterback that I'm watching is Florida's Anthony Richardson.
Ooh.
All right.
All right.
Because I don't think we're going to be in the Strong Stroud area unless the Saints are really bad. But I don't think the Saints are going to be that bad.
Yeah, and also don't forget for the Eagles, they had a first-round talent fall to them in the 3rd.
Nakobe Dean.
Yep.
Yeah.
I really have some question marks about Dean, though.
I have more questions about I have more questions about Davis.
Do you want
the biggest thing?
No, hold on.
Oh boy.
So there is a reason why Nakobe Dean fell to the 3rd round to the Eagles.
Injury.
Wasn't it like he refused? I know he refused surgery.
Yeah, the fact that you're refusing surgery on a torn pec, that is very alarming. Because if you do not get those,
there was no torn pec. It was a pec strain.
It's still alarming because look at the injury history of Nakobe Dean.
I think someone tried to sink his stock.
And that was the rumors coming out of the Georgia scenes that Nakobe Dean fell that far because of injuries.
Dean's not my bigger concern is Jordan Davis right now as it stands is a 2-down nose tackle who didn't play much on 3rd down. I think if he's going to last long in this league, he's going to have to slim down a bit. Because if not, he's going to get outpaced. Now, he's good, but I have to laugh at the Steelers for big time reaching on DeMarvin Leal.
Leal wasn't in reach.
Leal wasn't in the reach. I was 84. He was like 84 overall. What are you talking about?
He had a 6th-round grade. He had a 6th-round grade. Here's why. His tape wasn't good, so he needed to have a strong combine. Did not happen. Then he shit the bed in his pro day, but then again, a lot of Aggies shit the bed in their pro day.
Poor tradition, man.
A lot of them, even Jimbo Fisher said a lot of these players should have stayed another year. My best comparison for Leal right now is Solomon Thomas.
If we're looking at other Aggies,
Solomon Thomas as a 3rd rounder wouldn't be bad.
I just don't think he's going to be long-term for this league.
It's not that bad of a reach.
His athletic scores from RES were not good either. I think he was like literally mid. The Pickens pick was a fucking steal and a half. So I think that I guess that counters it a bit.
Yeah, and also
George Pickens going to the Steelers was a shock.
No, not really, because he was the best receiver available. But what was the shock is that we grabbed a 2nd receiver and another 2nd-round prospect in Calvin Austin.
Not really, because that's what the Steelers have been doing for years, drafting receivers in the 2nd round.
I know they drafted receivers. I'm just surprised they drafted 2 of them.
They're variable. Here's the thing about Pittsburgh: they have a long, stable history of being able to develop receivers. And no matter even if you play a different position, like Cordell Stewart, they briefly turned him into a receiver.
Yeah.
Before putting him back at quarterback.
Bad news is they've also been able to develop all their egos.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
AB,
Yeah, and also for me, the issue with this draft is they went with nepotism. Connor Hayward is not a sixth rounder. Like I know it's like a sixth rounder shouldn't be too upset, but he doesn't get drafted that high if his brother isn't a Steeler.
I mean, it's a 6th round pick. Do you really? Let me ask you this:
Yeah, like I know it's a
in the
sixth
6th round or
rounder.
later, if you go to 6th round or later, you're just literally digging up your favorite guys left on the board at that point.
Yeah, I know
you're
it's
not
not
digging for
much.
much else.
Yeah, I know it's not much, but it's just like he doesn't get drafted there if his brother isn't a Steeler, which is kind of showing that the Steelers organization it is full of nepotism and
They
would
have
be
four-
willing to sacrifice a little bit just to have family.
They have 4 sets
Yeah.
of brothers on that team, by the
Yeah,
way.
they have 4 sets of brothers, and some of them very should not be on the team, like Trey Edmonds.
Oof.
So
And there's one team I don't think we covered yet, and that's the Ravens.
oh
We didn't
dear
cover many
God, the
teams.
Ravens.
Honestly,
And with that
I haven't
I
said-
done
have not. That was one of the best drafts the Ravens I have seen from
Honestly,
a team.
I'm
Would
gonna
anybody
counter
like to
this.
volunteer so we can get Valor in here?
Hold on. Can I
I'll take-
I want to say one thing.
Okay, I volunteer as tribute. I'm gonna.
The QBs all got sunk. Their stocks got sunk because of the whole Baker and Jimmy Garoppolo stuff. Because teams felt like, well, if we can get these guys for cheaper, we're not going to waste high draft capital in a top-heavy class. There's no
Yeah.
need to go getting wasteful, especially when those picks are that valuable in this class. And that to me is the thing with this class. It's very top-heavy.
Fair
Mm.
enough.
Also, I'm going to say this for the Ravens draft.
That was
At least like the first three picks were great. The 4th rounder was a complete bust and a failure on the part of the Ravens.
Who?
Travis Jones?
No, no, the Ravens had 6 picks in the 4th round. They draft 2 tight ends, 2 corners, a punter, and no receivers. You have Mark Andrews. Why do you need 2 tight ends? Your secondary is already loaded. Why do you need 2 corners? You have Sam Cook. Why do you need a punter?
Depth
and-
reasons, because
and
all of
you're
our team is
only-
injured to hell.
And
Yeah,
you only
yeah.
have one wide receiver on the roster that isn't useless. You have Rashad Bateman and nothing. Your next best receiver is a return man that's never used as a receiver.
Okay.
You have nothing at receiver. What you playing? Antonio Brown? Overpaying Deebo Samuel? Hoping OBJ can get healthy? You're screwed at the receiver position. It's almost like you're committing to Lamar being a running back.
All right.
I mean, Greg Roman's an idiot, though.
Yeah, he's an idiot, but that doesn't mean you don't.
Let's have Fowler speak about the Ravens.
Yeah.
And then I'll-
I'm a Ravens fan too.
Yeah, but Fowler is a
Valor's
more of a
the big
Ravens fan,
Ravens
and you
fan
have
over
2
here.
teams. Let the person who has one major team speak about it. All right.
Yeah, Valor, go.
Okay, so 14th overall, we selected Kyle Hamilton, the safety out of Notre Dame.
Absolutely.
Probably your best pick in that draft,
I really
honestly.
like this pick. Although I much love to see Jordan Davis, but a certain Philly team decided, nah, you're not allowed to have
Yeah,
him.
I'd rather Jordan Davis too.
I'd rather have Kyle
I'd
Hamilton.
say it's
He's a generational safety.
It pretty much makes an already stacked secondary very good. If the
Yeah.
team remains healthy, it is. It's going to be
Yeah.
deadly. Alongside Marlon Humphrey, Marcus Peters, and Marcus Williams, who we signed in free agency,
Yep.
that secondary is going to be deadly if it stays healthy.
Yep. And then you trade a Hollywood Brown
Stafford.
and
You
We
absolutely
trade Hollywood
fleece the
Brown,
Cardinals.
then we trade down, and then get the guy that I really wanted.
Yeah,
I
Tyler
love this
Linderbaum.
guy. Tyler Linderbaum, which addressed the need, fills the hole that Bradley Bozeman once did.
Mhm.
So he'll be the starting center, unless it's Patrick
Yeah.
McCary. I assume McCary's going to be put at tackle somewhere.
Linderbaum is
it'll
also
probably
a
be depth.
generational prospect.
Yeah.
That's a freaking steal. And then we get
Yep.
yet another steal with our second round pick, David Ajabu.
Yeah, and of course the only question
before
is-
he got the injury at training camp at the
Yeah.
his pro day.
Yeah. That was
He was a
unfortunate.
first rounder, so
Yep.
we got a literal steal there.
And of course, remember, the Ravens head coach is his brother is the coach of the of Michigan, and their new defensive coordinator was the defensive coordinator at Michigan. So there's a lot of ties to David Njoku.
Right. third round pick, another need that's addressed, which is Travis Jones, who, if you didn't know, which fills up our D-line position because D-line was pretty much a weakness for our team. And then we keep drafting O-line. I mean, this guy was crazy. The guy we drafted from Minnesota. That is a large offensive lineman.
Yeah, that was a steal. He was supposed to be a third rounder.
So, yeah.
And then after Falele, it was all downhill.
And afterwards, we're like, depth piece. Why did we draft a punter?
The receivers after that, though, the depth fell off after that.
You had Calvin Austin fell into your laps 5 different times, and you didn't take him either time.
And then depth piece, and then another depth piece.
You say Calvin Austin?
Yeah.
That's the other Steelers receiver that we got.
Yeah, and apparently a report came out. Every AAC corner, like Sauce Gardner, like all those top round corners all those top round DBs all said Calvin Austin was the hardest to cover, and we got him for a steal. Baltimore could have had him, but they chose to do everything else and ignore the biggest need at that point.
Right.
All right.
Would I mind getting into the Falcons side a little bit more? Because I do want to talk about Desmond Ridder.
Go.
I honestly had Desmond Ridder going to the Falcons in the second round. The fact that he fell to us in the third really shows that, yeah, I understand why to think, but I also think that this QB class was not as good as we all thought it was. And
I don't think that. Like I said before, the whole Jimmy G Baker stuff sunk their stock because if you can get them for cheaper, you're not gonna waste top draft capital on them, especially in a top heavy class.
Yeah,
but
like I'm gonna say it,
it's
the
not
vast
even top heavy.
The vast majority of people picked after day 3 are not gonna last long.
Yeah.
There have always been surprises with the people who've picked in the 4th round or later.
Yeah, like the definition of mid and Dak Prescott.
Grady Jarrett, 5th round talent, probably the best defensive player, probably second or third best defensive player in the league.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're not gonna find many of those in this class.
Yeah, and let's go ahead and move on to some of the other draft stories. The Cardinals, what are you doing? You don't need Hollywood Brown.
Your
receiving depth is fine. Your offensive
pass
line,
rushing depth is
best.
Your pass rush depth is ass. You just lost your best pass rusher.
And then with their first pick, after they trade your first for a position they don't need, they grab a tight end.
You already have a tight end who you don't use much of.
They have Zach
Hell, have
Ertz.
patience.
And even then, you don't seem to be using him a whole lot.
No. Like Steve Keim is. So can someone tell me why Steve Keim and Cliff Kingsbury got extended?
To make you ask questions, it worked.
The Cardinals are never going to be anything with Steve Keim and Cliff Kingsbury.
I try to say something, but ineptitude seems to be contagious with them.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. With that said, I think it's time to head into our second appetizer of the night.
Lacrosse.
I do want to get one final word in.
Sure.
See you guys. I hope so. We know Vegas had a night to remember, but how about this weekend when the streets of Miami are blocked off for some raw seek, baby?
Oh yeah,
Gentlemen,
Miami
it is
GP's
Raleigh
coming
Seek.
in next
The
weekend.
Miami, the 2022, for the first time ever, we will have the Miami Grand Prix for Formula One.
Yep.
Hosted
Around the
at
parking lot in Hard Rock Stadium.
All right. Alrighty.
I'll go Leclerc, get them things, get them points, and show the world why Ferrari is back.
All right.
I'm declaring myself as neutral party for this, Dina, if you don't mind.
Sure.
Because
I don't know.
honestly, You know how I feel about the two Canadian F1 teams.
You mean Aston Martin and Haas?
I said the two Canadians.
Oh, those things. I
Those
thought you were talking about
things.
Lance Stroll. Well, move me out.
Latifi and Stroll.
Oh, never mind.
Oh,
They're
Latifi,
gonna-
yeah.
They're
Those
gonna
two.
spin their way to failure again.
Minala.
Spinala.
Spinella
By the
has
way,
been.
who do you got winning the race, Health, or anyone else who wants to say it? Who's got the race for you?
I'm going to say, and hopefully I don't go. No one goes Vlad the Impaler on me. I'm gonna say a George Russell win, actually.
Oh, me. You know who I'm cheering for, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're cheering for Le Greg, aren't you?
Le Grec don't. Le Grec gonna win. Anyway, have a good race, everyone. It's Raw Seek weekend, baby. Woo!
All
It's
right.
Raleigh Seek.
Yeah.
Raleigh Seek.
All right.
All right, so
get outta
Ardina
here.
out, Zepp in.
Yep. And with that said,
It is lacrosse.
There, you happy?
it's
Give-
time for lacrosse.
you don't get hockey yet,
Unfortunately,
Zep.
is not going to be pleased on what.
Don't worry, this is like
Main
Playoffs.
event.
more appetizers. Don't worry
Playoffs are
about that.
starting. Did you guys see
Hang
how
on.
the
Hang on, Kirby, wait.
Kirby.
No,
we're
let
going
him go.
to lacrosse.
First.
We're
Let him
going
go.
to lacrosse. There's no soccer on the menu tonight.
No, I said I was going to go into lacrosse.
Oh.
Okay.
Well,
Let's
but-
go.
Did anyone
go.
see how the Storm Wings game ended last night?
Oh, I haven't. No. What happened?
Of course, Kirby's watching the Storm game after seeing their logo.
But I'm a
This-
Wings fan because Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it was in overtime, and Georgia were on the power play.
Oh,
You
Swarm.
wanna- The Swarm were on the power play. Guess what? The Wings won on a shorthanded goal.
Sucks for Audinas.
Yep. And also we were. I
Is
saw on
Aldina
John
even
Boy.
into lacrosse?
No,
Probably not.
but I would. But anyways,
So you can see,
I'm
like,
gonna
I
post-
never-
Uh-oh. He
Like
is.
I said.
Let's get
I'm gonna-
Aldina in here.
I'm going to
Bye-bye.
post the. I'm
Yeah,
going to
I'll,
post.
I'll
the
swap
clip.
out. I'll swap out or not.
Nope,
I'm going
too
to
late.
post the clip in here. I'm going to post the clip in here.
I'll be
It's in
honest.
the-
I
boot
just
it.
saying this because
Hang
I
on, I'll
actually
boot her
played
up.
lacrosse when I was in high school,
Mm.
in college.
I've got the clip. Hang on, I've got the clip. I'm gonna
Not
get it
professionally or
up.
collegially, but just for fun.
Mhm.
Yeah, I played lacrosse.
Yeah.
You
Georgia
played
Swarm, winning one championship, the first championship for Georgia since '95, and that's all they're remembered for because no one remembers them anymore.
Ooh. We're not gonna get demonetized here, right?
Probably not. Take a look.
Watch us get taken down midstream.
Ooh,
Oh,
Yeah.
easy in.
And I
That's
just
a
watched the clip for
beautiful-
myself. That also sent the Philadelphia Wings
Cool.
to the playoffs.
Yep.
Yeah, we played
And
San
with that
Diego
said,
in the
I
wild
believe
card.
that Philly's
And it
in the
eliminated the
Western
Swarm.
bracket.
Oof.
Also,
I think Philly's in the
So
West
that makes it
bracket, if
even
I'm
worse
not
for
mistaken.
Georgia.
Yeah, they're in the West They're in the West bracket because
The
they're
rotating
because the,
eighth seed.
Because of crossover.
The rotating eighth seed, I think.
Unfortunately, that if the Swarm won that game, they were in the playoffs.
yeah, the winner was going to San Diego because Albany did their thing.
Hang on, let me.
Also, I forgot.
F.
So I don't remember which teams they were, but I saw a John Boy clip of a lacrosse trick play. Guy fake passed it. Everyone bought the fake and then easy score.
All right. That's 2019's bracket.
They're not gonna.
We
They
need
probably
this,
don't have the bracket up yet.
point streaks. Probably not. But with that said, if Bandits, Rock, Thunderbirds, Firewolves, and Wings are in, San Diego, Calgary, and Colorado are in. Like we all said, the 8th seed is a rotator, I think. The 8th seed's a wild card, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
Welcome, motherfucker.
Hmm?
What?
The 8th seed's a basically the 8th seed
Yeah,
is a
wild card.
rotator. Yeah.
All
So
right,
with that
so
said,
let's go ahead and move on to the main course.
Yep, and I'm out of
There's
here.
one more.
No, that one will be the dessert. We'll save that for the dessert.
no, we're doing it now.
Damn it.
We having our dessert early?
We're having our dessert early before we go into the roast duck. Not bad, but.
Oh, I wouldn't mind a roasted duck.
Oh.
Rent-free.
Anyways,
Rent free.
I wish I could have a lighter here, but it's not.
They should call you whiners, Doctor. No.
anyways.
duck.
Fuck
Okay,
you
with
guys.
that said, the Vegas Desert Dogs. Is that the right name, Duck, or no?
Yes.
Yes,
I've got
Yes,
I've
it's
got
the
one
name.
thing. I've got one thing to
Are
say to
you
that.
high or just incredibly stupid?
Should have gone with Blackjacks.
They didn't get hookers.
They couldn't go with gambling
Adina.
because there's an
Adina,
Aussie rules
Adina,
American.
Adina. For the
There's a U.S. Aussie
407
rules league with that team name already.
Hang on. Adina. For the 476th time that this sound has been played entirely, either on and off the air.
Get the fuck out of here!
I didn't
Get out.
even
Hold
hear what
on,
Adina
hold-
said.
He said Vegas hookers.
Kindly
Vegas
on,
couldn't get hookers.
Yep,
Right.
blackjack and hookers.
It was a playoff duck.
Hold on, I got one.
Duck.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Okay, well, with that said,
Kirby.
Are you okay,
boys,
Jeff?
let's calm your calm
Call me non-existent tits.
Oof.
Thank you. Anyways, Vegas is entering next season, so this is going to be an interesting time to see what's going to happen with them this year. As also, Gretzky and his son-in-law own the team alongside with San Diego's owner. So this could be one of the interesting ones that we've done so far. And with that said,
So now,
my prediction is Vegas is going to be tanking.
Hold on.
And no one's going to give two shits.
Here's
about
something
them.
for Adina who just left.
Bye.
don't just empty out your entire
Oh,
soundboard.
shut up. Anyways.
So now we're gonna go to hockey, and that since we're on the topic of since we're on the topic of Vegas, everyone get your fingers out because it's time to point and laugh.
You
I was
didn't
gonna
make them.
Oh no!
All you had to do was score a shootout goal, CJ. That's it.
0 for 17.
Oh,
You
17.
didn't score a single shootout goal in the playoffs.
Hang
Well,
on.
good
I do not,
promise,
guys,
You
Feels
missed the
guys, hang on.
playoffs on a
Hang on.
skills
You-
competition.
Boys,
Also, one more
you
thing.
want to know what's even more funny?
No, have one
We
more
took
thing.
Vegas down with us, so I'm
Yep.
calling that a win.
Also, so Vegas had a worse shootout than Nashville's power play in the playoffs a couple years ago.
Ooh. Ouch.
All right. With
Okay,
that,
I just have to say for Vegas, I've said this before.
Shut the fuck up. No one cares.
Kirby,
Know your fucking
Kirby,
place.
I will
Trash.
swamp you with Adina
Kirby.
again.
just go ahead and throw Kirby.
All
up
right, I'm done.
Okay, as I was about to say, for Vegas, this is a kind of season where you, as a franchise, destroy the reputation you had with your fans. You trade a fan favorite and a Vesna winner to the start of the season for a guy who I don't even think played in your AHL team. You then decide to go all in with another big move, getting rid of a nice future star, dare I say Peyton Krebs will be, and a secondary scoring dynamo in Alex Tuck, plus a couple picks for Jack Eichel. Now, I'm not saying Jack Eichel's bad because that's worth the price of admission, But what they trade for him keeps looking worse. I'm not saying it's Eric Carlson bad yet, but it is getting there.
Yeah.
My goodness. And then, of course, you have the F Games Donov move. Actually, wait.
Move.
There was no move because the NHL nixed the
move.
deal.
Yep.
And then, of course,
I
Robin
do also-
Lehner. Oh, Robin Lehner. We here at the Sports Disaster salute you because the organization, just actually specifically head coach Pierre DeBoer, decided to try and start a beef with you, and everybody here wants DeBoer gone, and somehow he's making his already rocky reputation look worse, which we didn't think was possible. And then, as you guys mentioned it, 0 for 17 in the shootout.
Oh, for 17.
Not even Nashville can stoop that low in any stat.
I haven't seen a performance that bad when it mattered most since 2018 when the Rockets threw up brick after brick after brick
Oh,
after
the 0 for
brick.
27 straight.
How the fuck do you miss 27 straight 3-pointers?
How the heck do you not even
You
score
could-
one goal
I-
when
I
you
would-
need it in the shootout?
I
How?
could make a Trump joke there, but that's crossing into rules.
Oh,
Get out of here.
Yeah. Rule 4 and Rule 4
To be-
accessories.
Roll 4.
Rule 4.
but I just want to say this for Vegas, you guys need to get your stuff together because, first of all, fire Pierre DeBoer. This is long overdue, and he needs to go. Second of all, figure out what's going on with upper management because you've had to kind of navigate this whole salary cap thing, losing star players and good talents, expecting the guys to replace them to do phenomenally, which that's asking a lot of them. And the biggest question I have for this team is, what are they doing? I know you're going to say making me ask questions, Doug, but I don't think that's quite the answer here.
That's an old.
Because with
More
Vegas,
than that.
this team, to me, it feels like they're spiraling. I'm not quite sure if they again, Pierre DeBoer seems like a good stopgap from the spiraling. If they keep going, I'm going to be bold and say this. If they keep Pierre DeBoer, next season is going to be punted.
Exactly. Also, are they over the cap for next season or no?
Yes. At the moment, with the way they stand, they are well over the cap.
They
need to shed star players, raw talent because they're abusing LTIR right now.
Yeah.
And what they're using that on are great high quality players. So unless they basically shed everybody and pull almost what led to pull an inverse of the 2017 expansion draft, they're toast.
And now
they may as well, if they keep DeBoer, you may as well just bring on Johnny Hecker for all the punting you're gonna do.
Yep.
Oh,
Yes. Something completely different.
Okay. What's
Let's
next?
let's take a look at their cap situation.
All right, boys, let's focus
Elf.
here. No.
I was just gonna say, while we're on this topic, welcome to the hockey Vegas. Now get in the tanks.
All right, and with that said,
Get the tanks.
it's time.
What the-
to-
Yes.
Hey, I have the
time.
bracket.
Too bad I had it up already.
Actually, I'm
Also,
I
put it back
can't
to the
even
side.
freaking see it.
sorry.
Help go back to the face cams on the side view. Yeah.
Like that.
Main
Yeah,
course time,
Yes, we
gentlemen.
can actually see.
Good.
Hang on.
All right,
hang
so
on.
the
If we go
first.
back to this. This way kind of
Stop
works.
it.
Hey, what we had worked.
Shut. Anyway, let's just move on. Because this first matchup upsets me.
Yeah, I can see why.
Yep.
We'll skip it,
Colorado
actually.
and
No.
Boys,
No, we're not gonna
We're
skip
not going
it.
west first. We're going east first.
Okay.
East first, bottom.
Panthers and Capitals.
No, bottom. Bottom
Oh,
up.
Bottom.
Rangers and Penguins.
Pittsburgh.
And we're doing majority rules again.
Yep. And of
If
course,
there's a
tiebreakers
3-3
and
tie, tiebreaker is the amount of goals. If it's
no,
still a
thought
tie,
is the amount of games. Tiebreaker
Yeah.
is the amount of games.
Yeah.
yep. If it's still a tie, we do a coin flip and help. No more picking on chaos. All right.
Good bastard.
I'm going to start with this because it pains me to say this, but I'm looking at this and I see a Rangers sweep. no part of me is confident in the Penguins, especially with their recent performances against the Rangers. They against Edmonton, they somehow looked okay, but the only teams that they've really beaten up on in the past month or 4 weeks, technically speaking, have been teams that aren't even in the playoffs or are pretty far outside the picture. The only team they came close against was Colorado. And that's because Colorado at the time was going through a bit of a funk.
Yep.
Other than that, they lost to them. They got smoked by the Leafs. Somehow, some way, they had to play the Rangers quite a number of times. And again, the only good opponent I could say that they beat was Boston. And Boston, at that point, was like, we already got the first wild card spot locked up, so what can we do?
All right, we got Penguins in 4, Valor.
No, we got Rangers in 4.
Rangers.
Yeah, that's just
Rangers
Rangers in
I have
4.
the Rangers moving on in 6 games.
Rangers
I think
in
it's
6.
it depends. No, Jari's not starting,
He's still out.
so I think the Rangers probably win in about, I'm gonna say 6.
Yep,
I think-
Rangers are moving on. We can just
Hang
go
on.
throw the
Yeah.
Rangers in.
Rangers
Yeah,
in 5.
I have the Rangers winning in 6 or
Yep,
7.
Rangers move on. Congratulations.
Here's the
Team's
thing.
upset.
Here's the thing I see with this team. This Rangers team, they look different this year. They have, as I said before, they got space for their scores. Their goaltending is unbelievable. Shishorkin is great. Georgiev has looked pretty serviceable recently. For Pittsburgh, Tristan Jarry was the guy holding them up, and they still really don't have much depth helping them out.
I mean, DeSmith's played better, but it's still not enough.
Yep.
I mean, we're comparing him to Domingue, who, I'm hoping that he does better, but also looked like burnt toast in what little time we saw of him. But for the Penguins, I know I've said at the beginning that this was their last chance. Going up against the Rangers is a show of just how far we've fallen, and that is very sad to say. That's me being realistic.
Mm.
And now let's
Alright.
move on. Hurricanes versus Bruins. Hell, what you got?
I'm gonna say a full 7, but Carolina wins it.
All right.
I'm
Duck?
gonna say Carolina in 6.
All right, Duck.
Don't worry, Boston. There's no Scott Walker this time.
And this Boston team plays dangerously when they want to, but so does Carolina. It's going to be a tight series, but I do think Carolina's going to go in 7.
Carolina.
And then more friends will be able to come to their game.
No, because if we remember correctly, if I'm not mistaken, Frederik Andersen and Antti Ranta are still out. Their goaltending duo for the Hurricanes. I'm going Boston in 6.
Ooh.
Ooh, Valor.
I hate to say it, Kings, but I think the injury bug got you guys the worst time, and you're going up against a team that will bully you all over the ice, even without Zdeno Chara.
Valor.
I have Boston moving on in 7. I think Carolina's goaltending wounds will come back to bite them.
With that said, Reckoning.
Bet you wish you hadn't traded Nedeljkovic.
Yep.
Reckoning.
I didn't realize the goalie situation. Both the goalie situation. Who's their current starter?
It's a third stringer.
Which is, but who is it?
Let me look that for you because I remember it was a guy who was buried in their farm system. But let me check this out for you. Let's see, Frederik Andersen. Both of they might get Anderson back, but that's a big maybe. Ronto is going to be out until at least Game 4.
All right.
I'm looking that up, and they currently have Pyotr Kolchakov, who's out of Russia, and let's see his numbers. In just this season, he's played 3 games, 1 out of 3. With a 902 save percentage and a 2.42 goals against. That's not bad, but that's also not very good.
Yeah.
Especially,
That second trend, in my opinion,
especially,
is alarming.
So I'll
especially,
go.
yeah.
Go.
Especially seeing like again, this guy has only played 3 games in the regular season, and this dude is going to come in incredibly raw against a team that, as I said before, will bully you up and down the ice, and if you're not prepared, you're going to end up flat on your rump, because
Yep.
that's what the Bruins do to you.
So,
All right, reckoning.
I'm going to go in 7 games, 4-7, Raleigh.
Carolina moves on anyways.
Carolina
Fight their
is.
woes.
I'm going to say
They're gonna fight for the
Carolina
prize.
is going to like for them. They're the biggest question mark I have this postseason,
Mhm.
because with the other teams, it's like, can you overcome success? But Carolina, I just don't know what they are because of their injury issues.
Yep.
I just don't know.
And up next, Leafs versus Lightning.
I'm gonna say mine out of the way.
Elf.
Get
Go.
the brooms. Tampa.
Tampa, Duck,
Tampa. All right, so Helv has Tampa in a
and
sweep.
4. Yep,
I don't
Tampa.
think Tampa's sweeping them. I don't see it.
All right, Duck, what's yours?
So, Toronto, like we said before, win one playoff series, then we might pick you to move on.
Until
You haven't
then,
yet.
yeah. I'm not picking to you until you fucking do something.
Yep.
And
I think we can just go ahead and
to
put Lightning up there now.
Lightning in 6.
I
Lightning
think
in
you're going
5.
to lose.
Tampa in
you're going to lose
7.
yet another
Yep.
game 7.
I'm
Yep,
just-
we got full set here.
I was just about to say, Toronto. You know how you guys have that active streak of 54 years without a cup? Make it 55 with Helv. Leafs. You like. There's a lot of pressure on this team because after last year they were humiliated, and what they have to this year? Oh, just face the 2-time defending Stanley Cup champion Tampa Bay Lightning when they're at full strength and pretty much ready to mow everybody down again.
Yep.
Toronto, we send our sympathies, but yeah,
Yep,
you guys are going to
Your fuck, have a nice day.
Nope, and book your tea times now because you're going to need them.
Happy Leafs
And with that
Elimination
said,
Day.
Florida versus Caps.
Oh.
And
Let's
this
start the
one
bottom.
Valor,
Zach,
I think we
but
already
I've
got
made
his
my
prediction.
choice.
Yeah, Zach?
I'm going to acquiesce for a moment. Let Valor, the Caps fan, say his thoughts.
All right.
Valor?
You think I say Florida in 4, but I'm going to say Florida in 6. Something tells me that the
with you,
Capitals are going to steal a game or 2. I
All right.
predict there's a lot of overtime games. It's
Yeah.
going to come down to whoever gives up the most goals.
I second
Valor.
Valor.
Both teams' goaltending
Yes, Valor, that's how
is a
hockey
giant
works.
question mark.
Valor, that's how hockey
Reckoning,
works.
put that 1 to a 3. Because 2 people have agreed with Valor.
Yeah.
Yep, Florida.
I think Florida, they still got the President's Trophy curse. However, it's not going to affect them. It's going to go 7, but Florida comes out at the end.
Yeah.
All right, we got the Battle of Florida next game. But first,
I'm just going to say, I just want to give my thoughts on the Florida-Washington series. To me, I see it as there's a lot of pressure on Florida. Yes, the Capitals have watched a historic season from Alexander Ovechkin unfold, but for Florida, after last season, where they had such a talented team and yet didn't really do much of anything in the playoffs, they added to that, and now the pressure's on them even more. If they have to, basically for them at this point, it's cup or bust. And if they end up going bust, this team is going to look a whole lot different next year because they keep doing everything right. They keep getting the players they need. They keep getting the depth. The one problem is all that has disappeared in the postseason. I can't explain why. I don't think it's the lack of killer instinct like we see with Toronto, but Florida, if you guys don't prove yourselves this year, we won't be able to take you seriously again for at least a couple of years.
Yep.
I say that at least with about 8,000 underlines.
Mm-hmm.
And with that said, time
Edmonton.
to go south. Let's go west down up.
Yep.
Edmonton versus LA.
Yep. I have LA in 6.
LA in 6.
LA
I'm
in
gonna
6.
say Edmonton in 5.
Oh.
I'm actually gonna say Edmonton in 6.
Valor.
Uh-oh.
Oilers
Tiebreaker here.
in 7.
Tie. And the games are tied too, so you gotta do a coin flip.
All right. Time to go.
It's just to me like why Edmonton has more star power. The Kings are just hungrier. They're younger. They're hungrier. They
Okay,
Okay, guys.
They
we
get-
got-
get less-
hang on.
I'm going to bump my 6 down to 5.
Oh, so the Kings move on.
Wow.
I have the Kings, but to me, I look at it like this. Oilers. Our question for you is the same as it's been since 2017. Outside of McDavid and Draisaitl, what have you got? Because if you can shut down those two players, like Winnipeg did last season, like Chicago did the season before, when you get rid of those two big X factors, they are shallower than a kiddie pool. And that's not even getting into their goaltending, which has looked at best questionable and at worst abysmal.
Yep. And now we get to Calgary versus Dallas.
Hang on.
Yes.
If we
Health.
did heads versus tails, tails would have been LA, heads would have been Oilers.
All right.
Yeah. But I just see what like
Flip the coin.
LA is like LA to me, they're the team with nothing to lose because they did better than they did better than a lot of us thought they would.
Mm-hmm.
By virtue of a coin toss, either way, LA would have gone through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
But
Okay.
LA wants this more. Edmonton is just coasting on high-end talent.
Edmonton's
I know a
getting
team that
desperate.
does that.
Edmonton's just getting desperate at this point. And
with
who
that
better
said-
who better to face than a team with nothing to lose?
Yep.
With
Mhm.
that
And now-
said,
Flames versus
Calgary.
Stars.
Yep.
Hell.
I have Calgary in 7. This is
Ooh.
going to be really tight, in my
Ooh,
opinion.
duck.
You've got a Canadian squad who's basically tearing it red hot ever since the season started, and of course you got Dallas, who's been basically just low on fumes at this point. I'm gonna say Calgary wins it in 7.
I
and
think
continues to
Flames.
burn
I
all
think
the way
this is where
through.
we see a sweep. Flames sweep.
Ooh. Zep.
Wow.
You guys remember 2020? What happened when these two met?
7 unanswered goals.
Calgary
Is it
Calgary
7
Calgary
unanswered goals?
Calgary could not score on a soccer net against the stifling Dallas Stars defense. I say it happens again. Dallas, but in 6.
Salad.
Yeah,
Valor.
I don't see it. I think
Valor.
Dallas is too much a
Valor.
one-line team.
Valor.
This one I view. I don't think Dallas stands a chance. I'm gonna say Calgary in 5.
Okay.
Duck.
And for this one, it's going to be close. However, Calgary's moving on. I have them in 6.
Congratulations, Calgary. You are the furthest team a Canadian team will go.
We'll see.
But I will say
We'll see.
this: Calgary, they are a very impressive team. They have the offensive firepower, but I just see this Dallas team over the past few games, the Vegas game especially being notable. They have taken teams with all this firepower, like they did in the 2020 playoffs, and stifled that. Do I see it happening again against a team like Calgary? Absolutely. When you have a more complete team, like say Los Angeles, then they'll run into trouble.
Yep.
With that said,
And
Who
Wild
do we
versus
have here?
Blues. This is probably going to be the best matchup of the series. I'm
Oh,
calling it.
absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
I-
with
When
Hi,
that
this
Billy.
was
said,
confirmed, I'm like, oh.
This-
I've
Yeah,
got
Billy, we're fucked.
boys.
This is a tasty matchup.
This
Boys.
is the ribeye steak.
Yep.
With that said,
What do we got?
Minnesota in 7. This one's gonna be really tight in my
Yep.
opinion, due to the fact that both
I-
sides are gonna go head to head.
I
in
agree.
I
basically
agree.
Never before seen
Exact
combat.
same.
I
Yep.
agree.
This is going to be an amazing series.
This is going to be a battle, like a true battle, because of how often these teams face each other. I'm expecting like when I saw the series was the one that was announced, it's going to be if it doesn't look like marquee hockey at first, by the end of the series, it's going to look like that. But
Yep.
Minnesota in 7 on an overtime winner.
Oh.
In an inverse Patrick Maroon from a couple of years. What he did against Dallas, I think.
Duck.
There's no barbecue Bruce to stop the Wild this time. I'm gonna say Minnesota in 7 also.
Valor.
This is honestly the one I had the hardest time thinking about.
I think that's all of us.
Yeah,
Yes.
somewhat.
Yep.
All right. Once
I
I make this
think
prediction,
there will be at
Once I make this
least
prediction, I'm gonna
No.
head on out because.
All right.
Okay.
Well, actually, I'm just gonna say it now for Avalanche Predators. I think that's Avs in 7
Okay.
All right.
I think we're all
because I
agreeing
think
Avs are gonna do
Jaros
it.
is. I
Yeah.
think UC Saros is out long term.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
all
gonna
right,
say
so yeah,
that.
Valor,
Colorado
what's
Did he
yours?
say 7?
Valor, what's yours?
I'm gonna say Minnesota in 7, and at least 3 or 4 games of this series goes into overtime.
Minnesota.
That's what I was thinking too.
Yes.
Minnesota's
All
going
right.
through. And I decided to bump
Yeah.
the
I was gonna
Avs
say
Yeah.
Avs.
in due to technical.
I have
Due to-
Avs in
All
like,
right.
It's gonna be
See you
one of
guys.
those games.
All right,
See
bye,
you,
Kirby.
See you, Curbs.
Yeah.
I-
Curbs.
Yeah,
I just
so-
want to say with this I'm going to let Reckoning the Predators fan fill in afterwards. But I just want to say for Colorado, they're looking to make it past the second round. We in the first round, to me, it seems like an inverse of 2018. 20, when we didn't really know what the Avalanche were going to be, and the Predators, we had an idea of what they were going to be. To me, it's just like Nashville. This is the kind of I know that it's going to suck because you have UC Saros out, and Philip Forsberg is going to probably hit the open market unless you do something. But I think they can make the Avalanche work harder than we expect them to get past them. Because to me, even without UC Saros and even with David Riddick in net, you have one of the best defensive cores in the league, even after losing Ryan Ellis. That says more about Nashville than anything else. And they also throw in that they have Matt Duchene having a breakout season. All Roman Yossi again, Norris talks. I mentioned about defensemen, but also Eli Tollefson and Tanner Jeannot. Where do these guys come from? They're in Calder discussion for a reason. They look good. This is their year to kind of get used to, get that experience with playoffs, so that next year they can come back. But I will say, Reckoning, of the teams that I see currently in this playoff bracket, Nashville's got your boys have the most problems going forward.
Yeah, with also, I think this year says a lot more bad things about John Hines than expected.
Oh yes.
You have Roman Yossi hitting 96 points. Forsberg and Duchene. And of course, Yossi's had the best defensive year in team history. Forsberg and Duchene having the best in team history. What the fuck are you doing?
That was by accident.
Reset.
So yeah, Yossi best defensive performance in Nashville history over the season. Forsberg and Duchene best performances by forwards in league history. Yeah.
Reset again.
No, we got it.
John, the Kings.
Shut up.
Oh, right.
But
yeah, just
that.
That,
So yeah, we had all the
No.
three of the best seasons in history. You see Saros becoming a god in net. Like you said, Tanner Jeannot being in the Calder conversation. Philip Tomasino and Eli Tolvanen coming out as the stars that they were supposed to be. One of the best defensive forward lines in the league. Like the only negatives to this were Mark Borowiecki and Brandon Harper and Luke Cunnin were the only real negatives of the team.
Yeah.
Why are you only the 8th seed?
I think
you're only the 8th seed. And of course, it's because sloppy play, the dump and chase, and penalties. John Hines' contract expires after this postseason, and I hope we don't retain him.
I think with Nashville, Reckoning, your boys have something going there. If they don't renew John Hines, I'm expecting to see us talking about them again this time next season.
Yep. And if Philip Forsberg is not extended, put David Porter's head on a pike and hang it at the top of
Yeah.
Bridgestone Arena.
Even without him, I think we'd still be able to talk about them because again,
I don't care.
The names you just mentioned, their reckoning.
Yeah.
They've shown a lot of promise, and they look good.
I don't care.
Alright.
Pay Philip Forsberg. If you don't, get out of this team. David
Okay.
Porter has one job. If he fails, he's gone. He better be.
Yeah.
Boys,
Alright.
with that said, let's go down the list of what we've got for the quarters.
Ooh.
Let's start with. Should we go west east this time? Ryan?
Yes.
Yes.
Alright.
Avalanche versus Wild. What do we got?
I'm gonna say this. As much as I would hate to see this not happen, it's going to go. It's going to go 7. Avalanche are going to win, but if they don't do this year, heads are going to roll.
Yep.
You know what? I think heads are going to roll.
Ooh.
Oh.
But it's going to be a tight series. But these two teams are almost similar to one another.
Yeah.
You got Eriksson Ek on one end. You got Nathan McKinnon on the other.
Oh yeah.
It's going to be very, very tight. I think it's going to be Wild in 6.
All right. Hell.
Okay.
You're gonna hate me for this duck. Because I have Wild in 7.
Oh.
Oh,
Really?
Oh, Valor.
Oh, this
Valor.
is getting good.
Okay. So both of these series, previous 2 times, in 2003 and 2015, both of these series were first round matchups and went to a 7th game overtime, and the Wild won both. This series will also follow the same path, going to game 7 overtime, but I think Colorado finally gets over that second round hurdle.
All right. So we got a tie. Reckoning.
You have a tiebreaker.
Pass.
You
So-
can't pass.
He said
I know.
he
That's
said,
the prediction
you
he said
followed.
abs.
I know. No, I did say pass. I did say pass as a joke.
Oh, come on, man.
Boo.
Yeah.
So this will be a somewhat tight series that will go to either 6 or 7 games. The winner of this series, right after this commercial break.
Oh, come on.
There's no commercials here,
I
jackass.
know.
Pick something.
Yeah.
N7,
No help. No help at all here.
the
Nick.
Minnesota Wild.
Oh.
Finally.
Oh my god.
Okay.
There you
Calgary.
go again.
Oh.
Calgary versus LA.
LA 5.
Calgary 6.
Calgary 6.
Calgary 5.
Oh, Calgary,
Calgary
moves on.
moves on. So,
And I was gonna
Zep,
say-
would you like to explain?
Yes. I don't buy into I know Daryl Sutter is an experienced coach in the playoffs. He can take teams pretty far. However, I'm not buying this Flames team. To me, it seems again, like with a number of other teams, they do well in the regular season, and then in the postseason they suddenly vanish. And Monahan has been a non-factor for them. Johnny Gaudreau has. I don't know if we've ever really seen what he can do in the playoffs because they always get ousted because look who never shows up. And then the rest of their team, the only one I have some confidence in, is their goalie Jakob Markstrom because he's been around. The fact that I have confidence in a goalie who has yet to win a playoff series in his career says a lot more than it should. I look at this team and I say the same for that we've said for Toronto. Win 4 games in the playoffs, 4 in one series, and then I might be able to buy into what you're selling. Until you do that, I can't buy it. On the other hand, there's Los Angeles. I'll say it again and again. They're playing with house money at this point because they're kind of in a weird phase between current core, like the core for their Stanley Cup
It's a mix.
champions, and the
I know
current
what you're
one.
thinking, but it's a weird rebuild system.
But I think like they're kind of rebuilding on the fly, all of the Red Wings. But I think with this team, to me, like they're the most unpredictable team because we didn't really think we thought they were going to make it as the fourth, like might make it in as the fourth, like a wild card, and they've instead taken third in the division because somebody decided to choke at the end. We all know who that is.
Vegas.
Exactly, reckoning. But I just see the Kings as the team playing with the most house money at this point because we didn't expect them to make it here. Basically, nobody expected them to make it here, but yet somehow they're here and they're not done yet.
Boys,
We
I got
now
some
move-
choice words coming into the next ones, and we're gonna, of course, we're starting from top to bottom.
for the Florida
versus
series.
Tampa.
Florida man on ice.
Tampa and 7.
Florida and 7.
There's still a President's Trophy curse, but it's going to be safe for a later round. Florida and 7.
Valor.
Crap.
This is this one's gonna be really good and
Yeah.
really bloody. Because on one hand, we're trying to avoid Tampa winning another cup, winning another championship trophy.
On the other hand,
Do we really want to have that? Do we want status quo again for the third straight season?
so Valor, who do you pick between Florida and Tampa?
Valor.
Valor.
Do you have the internet?
No, I almost just passed out.
You good?
You good?
Yeah.
Need water.
Florida in 7 games, 3 of them going to overtime, including game 7.
Florida
That's
moves
Florida.
on.
I'm just gonna say this. Put them there for now, but if it makes us to this point, because we are predicting it is, this is a chance for Florida to prove to us they're not fool's gold.
Yeah.
Last 2 years, last year we looked at them. We thought this team's pretty good, and yet they're overshadowed by this team from Tampa in the same state as them. Nonetheless, I don't think looking at these two teams, I see it as like Tampa just had their number when it mattered most. But Florida, if you can beat them, first of all, big congratulations to you. And second of all, this will be their first. It'll be their first appearance to the conference finals since the 1995-96 season, where they made it all the way to the Cup, and well,
And lost.
got
Yeah.
swept.
They got swept.
And now,
And with that said,
Raleigh versus Rangers.
Rangers 6.
Hurricane 7.
This is going to be a very, very tight series, but Hurricanes man's going to be crying in the corner. Rangers in 7.
Oh no.
Valor.
Rangers in 5.
Rangers move
Oh.
on.
And this
I
is
was so
and
close to
Valor,
getting you
this
guys
is
to
the
have-
team you created. Remember?
Yeah, with the Tom Wilson hit.
I think they'll take that energy and pull them into a deep run.
Exactly.
All right, Minnesota.
I'm going to say this: Carolina. Again, we don't know what's going on with them, but the Rangers, they. It looks like we might have a 2014 all over again with this kind of team. They look legit
Yep,
They do look legit.
and dangerous.
yep.
Boys,
Yes.
I'm making my. As of this moment, I am writing down my final predictions before we head into a final pick.
All right.
Finals pick.
All right.
It's Minnesota versus Calgary. What do y'all got?
Hey, East and West this
Okay,
time.
Florida versus New York. What do y'all got?
New York
New York
7.
7.
New York in 6.
New York
New
moves
York.
on to the finals. I would have said Florida. I mean,
I-
that's
I had New York
Yeah.
in 6 also.
I again
This is-
say
this is where
Florida prove
President's
it.
Trophy decides.
President's Trophy curse.
decides to rear its ugly head.
And
Yeah.
now Minnesota versus Calgary.
Calgary
Minnesota
7.
in 4.
Well, you said Minnesota sweeps?
Yep.
Ooh, Duck.
I said Calgary 7 at this point.
Duck.
I'm gonna say Minnesota in 6.
Oh God, why do I have to be the deciding factor again?
You're not the deciding factor
You're not
yet.
the deciding factor.
I'm gonna
If
go
you-
with an
if
upset
you-
here. Minnesota in 7.
Minnesota moves on.
Alrighty.
Hi.
Canada
You know
still
what?
cannot buy a cup if their life depended
You
on
know
it.
what, boys? Now here comes the fun part.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Can't wait for that.
Minnesota. I'm calling it by this look. Minnesota takes the cup in a game 7 on the stick of Kirill the Thrill.
At this
Ooh.
point, do we want to have someone's cup drought over, or someone to begin a dynasty? To begin their cup glory.
Well,
My wording.
Dynasties
cup
are funny.
glory. There will be a
Dynasties are
starting
funny.
cup glory.
Dynasties are a
Minnesota
funny
in
thing.
5.
Wait, what'd you say? New York? Who'd you say?
He said New York in 5.
New York in 5.
All right, Duck.
Here's how I see it. The Wild have been in the league since 2000, and they've had some pretty good runs in the playoffs. However, this is their biggest yet. Their first ever trip to the Stanley Cup final. As for the Rangers, they broke a 50-year curse in 1994, and they haven't won a cup since. But thanks to Tom Wilson as their new owner, they have been on a very good deep run. I'm going to say Rangers in 7.
Valor.
Okay.
Actually, I'm changing mine so that means we don't have a shenanigans thing happening by reckoning again.
I mean, we could still have
Minnesota
I need to look something up. So
it's still
can I go
2-1.
last?
I know.
It's still
but
2-1. It's
I'm
just
giving
different
it to
now.
Minnesota
We're not
sweeps.
doing a we're not doing a game tiebreaker anymore because we have 5 people.
Fair
Yeah.
enough.
Okay.
Valor.
The quote, the legendary. I forgot. What's the Rangers play-by-play guy is?
Oh, I feel bad. I should know this, but go on.
And this one will last a lifetime. The New York Rangers have won the cup in 7 games.
So I'm the deciding factor here.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah, because it's 2-2. Because
Oh
Help
wait.
changed his pick.
Oh yeah, Health changed his.
I said Minnesota beforehand.
No, you said Rangers.
No, I didn't.
You changed it.
I said Wild through and through.
It's still. You said Rangers.
I said Wild.
You said
Wild.
Rangers.
You said Rangers.
This entire call I heard you say Rangers.
Me and Zepp happened at the same time. I said Wild.
And then you said you changed to Rangers. You said you changed it.
And then you changed it back to Minnesota.
I think Hal's been sipping on a different kind of juice. The stupid juice.
Yep.
Damn it.
But also
Alright.
to back up what Valor said, I looked it up. Sam Rosen has been the guy for the Rangers, and he's been there since 1990.
Nice.
All right.
Also,
So
I'd like
with
to
that
say,
said,
close.
It's still a 2-2 vote, is it not?
Yes, it's
It's still
2-2.
2-2 vote.
And I say close, but never close enough.
Oh,
He's got
no.
the Rangers.
Are you saying what I'm thinking you're saying?
The Rangers have won the Stanley Cup.
New York.
But here's the thing to me that makes this interesting. With Minnesota, we know they're a pretty tough team to play against and a pretty fun team to watch. Next year, they're in trouble because the Parise and Suter buyouts will jump by $5 million.
Yeah, I think the pressure is too much there. The pressure is too much because if they fail here, they're not going back to the playoffs next year because they have to sell.
They unfortunately have to, but I think with the GM they have, something tells me that even if they have to do some selling, they're not going to go away.
I do want to say something though, boys.
Yeah.
this will be I believe this will be kind of like the first season that there will be. You want to hear what I'm thinking?
What?
New York is going to be. I don't know if they're going to be the first team or one of the teams that will have no captain.
You're right.
They don't have a captain. They have several alternates.
They'd be the
They
first.
just let one of the alternates.
They'd be the first team to win the Stanley Cup without a captain. That would be interesting if it happens.
Yeah.
But only time will tell. I have some notes on another hockey team, but let's wrap this up first. If anything else,
Should we also poke some? Should we also talk about the draft lottery tonight?
no.
I mean, well, we could.
I got an NHL thing to cover.
All right.
And that is the Detroit Red Wings. The Detroit Red Wings announced that they will not be renewing the contract of Coach Jeff Blashill after this current season ends. Like this current season that's still playing right now. So he is gone. And that's not alone. They're getting rid of the goaltending coach and one of the assistant coaches. As somebody who has Red Wings fans in my own family, I will say this. Their situation, what Reckoning said about John Hines, to me, has been the issue in Detroit. Is the same thing with Detroit and Jeff Blashill. They have the talent. They've shown flashes of brilliance. They're on the upswing. But the only thing holding them back has been their head coach, especially if you look at their power play when they've given up numerous shorthand chances each game. And also their goaltending has just not looked right. Case in point, Thomas Greiss, who went from a decent top one, I think it was 1B in the Islanders system, to not even really that good of a backup in Detroit, behind Bernier and then now Nedeljkovic, who himself has taken a step back. What they needed was a change in identity, I almost say, on that front, and they got it. And also, Yzerman, he's still there, and this to me is just another step in the Yzer plan. And where did the last Yzer plan end up? Tell me, guys.
In the ditch.
No.
It ends up in championships.
2 straight.
Look at Tampa.
Yzerman may have left, but before that one infamous series, what has followed has been success like the franchise has never seen before.
Yep.
Right. With that said,
okay,
I think it's time that we take a look at the draft odds. For
all right.
Yeah.
Montreal Canadiens hold the highest odds of winning one of the top picks with 18.5%. Followed by Arizona with 13.5, the Kraken at 11.5, and then Flyers 9.5, Devils 8.5, Chicago 7.5, Sens 6.5, Red Wings with 6, Sabres 5, Anaheim Ducks and San Jose are tied with a 3.5 percentage, Columbus with a 2.5, the Islanders with a 2%, Jets with 1.5. And Canucks and Knights both at a 0.5.
Remember, the Knights don't own their own lottery pick. That's Sabres property because of the Jack Eichel trade.
It is.
Actually, there is something here. If Vegas does not make it into the top 10 picks, that pick stays with Vegas.
It's top 10 protected.
It's a top 10 protected pick.
So Vegas has a very slight chance that they keep it, but very slight.
It's a very slight chance. Chicago's pick will be transferring into Columbus if they are not in the top 2.
Oh. Because of the Seth Jones deal.
I believe so, yes.
And the Coyotes might have one of the highest They may have one of the highest draft odds, but for the next 3 years, they're going to have the lowest attendance.
Oh.
5,000 fucking seats.
And that still hasn't technically been approved, making it even worse.
Okay,
I
who
bet
wants to
you
hear
can't
my
wait till your
opinion
new
on the-
arena in
Hang on.
Tempe is good.
Permission to say my
More-
opinion on
More like the new arena in
on the
Kansas
Arizona
City.
Cardinals. Go into administration.
They already got an arena in Kansas City.
Yeah,
Go
but
into
that's where the Coyotes will be
administration.
going.
Hey, guys, Arizona, go into administration.
Oh no, reckoning. We gotta keep up the means. Every team that's rumored to have issues is going to Austin, so say hello to your Austin Coyotes.
No, thank you.
Austin Coyotes, Kansas City Coyotes. Heck
I'm-
no.
Okay.
I much
okay,
prefer
boys,
Kansas
boys,
City.
Boys. Let us
It's
now
not El
proceed
Paso.
with the brutality. Yeah.
Could you imagine
of-
the rivalry between the Coyotes and Blues?
of
It's
shit.
not a rivalry
Boy.
yet, but could you imagine?
If only they were actually decent. And now,
You
speaking
hate
of things
LeBron
that
and
are
Miller,
decent,
clap your
Helv,
hands.
what you got? What you got, Helv?
Salt.
It's time to go into the Dunk Fest.
Oh.
The NBA playoffs. I have
First of
the, and this time I have the bracket.
Yep, and also, real quick, everybody, hold your finger up.
Update
Everyone get your finger up.
The correct teams
Yeah.
in
Hell.
this round.
Everyone get your finger up. It's time to point and laugh at Minnesota. Choking 3 games. 2 of them over 30 points.
Oh my god.
How'd you choke that series? Oh my god!
Minnesota wins in 5 or 6 if they don't
If you're
choke.
watching this in Minnesota,
I can't. I'm not laughing.
The only thing that's worse than their performance are the protests that the fans do.
Yeah,
Ooh,
that I
that
can
is
laugh
one.
at. But Minnesota, I just didn't really like. Even looking at that going into the postseason, I didn't know what to make of them. Of all teams, I thought like, yeah, they're going to be one and done. It would be them. Other than of course the Nets, because the Nets.
Yeah.
But to me, it's just like Minnesota. You made the playoffs, and we just want to know what are you doing from here, because you faced John Morant and the Memphis Grizzlies. Memphis looked pretty good. You pulled a Doc Rivers. A vintage Doc Rivers, shall I say. Or another way, you pull a 2021 Leafs on us.
Boys,
Ooh.
I'm gonna make my. I believe it's time to make our picks real quick.
We're not doing predictions. We're just doing a
we're
recap.
just doing recaps.
No. Let's do picks.
No.
Dude,
No.
we're at an hour 32. We're not even in the 2-hour mark yet.
Let's move
You
on.
might not even make it to 2 hours. Who knows?
Let's just keep
let's
going.
Let's just do a recap.
Yes.
All right.
The Suns, the Pelicans made it a series, but the Suns
At least you
ended up
tried.
surviving in 6.
Yeah. They get They get a participation trophy from me, and I know I'm the last person to do that, but New Orleans did give the Suns a test.
Yeah.
They did.
Yeah.
And let's talk about Dallas winning a series for the first time since the 2011 NBA Finals.
Yep.
When they took care of the Utah Jazz in 6 games.
I don't really like. First of all, I think I'm going to mention this later, but I think this is retribution for the Jazz's new uniforms. On the other hand,
Oh,
on the other
neon
hand,
yellow.
On the other hand,
Ugh.
with the Mavericks, to me, it's like even with rumors that Luka Doncic is out, even with Jason Kidd, even without like Rick Carlisle and Donnie Nelson who have been there for a while, somehow, some way, the Mavericks look good again. Is it going to be all the way good? No, but they're, back.
Yep. And then we have the Timberwolves who just choked.
Yep.
I remember watching
the Minnesota Tees and not the Twins.
I remember watching that game, like Game 7, actually yesterday. I remember looking at it and thinking, I still don't know what this team was supposed to be, but deep run the playoffs, yeah, that ain't it, Chief.
Yep.
No.
You want to know what my saying is at this point against these idiots?
What?
Big dick failure.
Okay.
Womp.
And now we have we have the Nuggets, who are a one-man show, and unfortunately for them, the one man is not LeBron.
I'm gonna say this. When did Golden, like, we left them for dead, they're on the side of the road, and all of a sudden Golden State's come back. Like the roach we thought we squished.
Yep.
Against
also-
Denver.
Well,
Denver of all teams.
Oh, by the way, I don't see LeBron in the playoffs. Where is he? All right.
He died.
He gone.
Dude, the Lakers decided to choke so hard, they decided to become, basically my feces.
And nothing
Yep.
of value was lost.
I have a better analogy than what Help used. The Lakers sink to the bottom of the Pacific.
I
wouldn't say
I
sink
saw a
to the
Lakers
bottom.
game. I saw a Lakers game live last year. It's nothing but ring chasers. Nothing but old men. Like the Lakers compiled an All-Star team from 2010. It's LeBron,
Yep, that's
the
basically all it
Unibrow, Dwight Howard, Triple Double Man, Carmelo Anthony. In
And
2010,
they still can't even make it to the fucking
in
play-in.
2010, that's a dynasty, but it's 2022.
No, in 2010, that's somebody's make a team like in NBA 2K.
Yeah,
And guess what? When the Lakers won the title in 2010, they didn't have any of those guys.
yep.
They didn't.
No.
And now we get Miami and Atlanta.
Atlanta's another you tried one.
At
Yep,
least you
but
tried.
Miami ended up going to 5.
Yeah, Miami. Even though they're going to even though they're getting Jimmy Butler back, it just felt like the Heat were a more fleshed out team. And I will say this: FTX Arena is one of the worst names I've ever heard because of the company that sponsors it has
If you wanna
been
hear-
less than great. But you know what? This Heat team takes that criticism I have, chucks it in a wood chipper, and then says, "Here we are. Look at us."
Also,
Imagine
if
if,
you want to
they
hear,
stuck to American Airlines Arena or AAA.
if you want to hear a worse stadium name, look up the Milwaukee Brewers Stadium. It will always be Miller Park to me, no matter what
American
it's
Family Field.
Yes. Like the only thing worse, Crypto.com Arena.
Yeah.
Staples Center.
called. But
Yes.
it will always be Miller Park to me, and that's coming from a division rival.
Fair.
And next we have the Toronto Raptors. You had your 50
You
minutes of fame.
almost made us laugh at Philly again. You could have came back 3-0 against these guys, but no, you just came up short.
Yeah,
But
To be brutally honest, from my end, we decided to. We haven't been that well made since 19, I guess.
I think with
Hey, let me tell
Toronto,
you something.
yeah.
I think this is because all Toronto teams are cursed with disease.
No, I just think with the Raptors, they're just like they had the high from 2019. They've cratered back down to earth, and now the question is where they go. I don't know where that is, or if they've even burned their map to light their way across the stream. But I just know with this team, Toronto, you guys didn't. I can't hate you because you guys didn't lose when you had expectations. But I am a smidge disappointed because we couldn't laugh at my Philadelphia again.
Yeah.
But you know what?
Although-
If that's my only complaint, then oh well.
Although for the next matchup, we can put our fingers back up again.
Everyone, it's time for everyone's favorite barrel full of laughs. Everybody laugh at the Nets.
What a stupid team! What a
This is
stupid-
proof that super teams, as great as they are, on paper, when you actually get them to play it on a court, on a field, on the ice, well, all that means is failure. Because for every Rams, every Bucks, there's going to be a team like the Nets or a team like the 2008 Eagles.
Yeah,
The
although it wasn't that
2012
much,
Eagles.
although it wasn't that much of a super team, they were only playing with 4 players on the court. I didn't see no Ben Simmons.
Rick? Rick?
Rick.
But I'm going to say this.
Rick House.
Yeah. Reckoning, thank you for that. But also, the Nets, they have. I'm going to say this: free Steve Nash on a team that's not a super team and is just like looking to make something. He could be a great leader. Instead, he's stuck with a team that has enough egos to rival the 2018 Steelers.
Oof.
With that
KD,
said,
Kyrie, James Harden before they dumped him.
No. Elf, we got one more series.
Yep,
yeah, I was going
then,
to that series.
Yeah, and then
Yep.
and the 10th was
Milwaukee.
made. And the 10th was made, but Chicago, it's not enough. Ben
Yeah.
Simmons is still a bum. Yes, he is.
Remind me again. This guy is still getting headline status even though he can't shoot.
Yep.
I want. Hang on.
House.
Usually how it works.
I just want to say this. I want his agent and his whoever does like the publicity for him, because that person should be getting paid. And if they're not, I want them right now, because Ben Simmons, being a star player for as flaws he is and getting the money like he's the guy, despite the fact that he cannot shoot for the life of him, I want his I think that's the term, publicist, and his financial manager, because I would be set in a way not seen since Bobby Bonilla.
Hell, I'll try to be a coach. I'll take his. I'm trying to be a coach here.
yeah.
I'll take his agent. Get me a job somewhere like Knoxville.
Ooh.
And
Okay.
we have the Bulls.
No.
We already did that.
We gotta do our.
No, I
want to
think
recap. I just want to do a couple things. It's only going to take me a minute, but I'm going to recap the games that started, because the second round began today.
Yep.
The Bucks, the reigning, defending, undisputed NBA champions Milwaukee Bucks, beat the Boston Celtics 101-89.
Yep.
And the Warriors and the Grizzlies went into a shootout, but Klay Thompson gets the game-winning three, 117-116.
Unfortunate.
Again, the Warriors are the roach we thought we squished, but they are back.
Yep. And now we can go on to predictions.
I thought you said we weren't going to do predictions.
No, we're not.
I figured we could go ahead and do them. Well, let's just not give much analysis to it. Let's just do the games real quick.
No, let's just do finals predictions.
All right. Well, we gotta pick the teams that are going to get to the finals first.
So, I say it's going to be. I say Suns and Heat in the finals, but for the conference finals, Suns, Warriors, and Heat, Bucks.
Yeah. Warriors are going to beat the Grizzlies. If anything, Tommy, if there's anything that's off of Minnesota choking, Memphis cannot play a first half if their lives depended on it.
And again, John Morant looks good, but what's around him?
Although, actually, to be fair, the Memphis Grizzlies were winning games without John Morant. So there is a little something around him.
Yeah.
All right. With that
And
said,
But
for me, Phoenix and Milwaukee would be a rematch I wouldn't mind seeing again.
yeah,
Oh
I'm
yes.
yeah,
but-
yeah,
However, I do see Phoenix and Boston
really.
Ooh.
series.
I
can
mean,
see that.
I'm gonna agree with Zep, Phoenix and Heat.
I'm going with Phoenix. I'm going with Dark. I'm going with Phoenix Bucks.
Yeah.
Phoenix and Boston?
Bucks.
Bucks. I said Phoenix and Boston.
Also,
Anyway,
Val, if
I'm
you're
gonna
still
say
here, do
Phoenix.
you have a finals prediction or no?
Huh?
You have a finals prediction or no?
I don't have a finals prediction. I don't care about the NBA.
All right.
Okay,
enough.
that's
I
fair.
think it's time to poke fun at our shit stain of the week.
Oh yes.
Yep. Yeah, I already have a good list.
I think
Also-
I have two. I just need
I
another.
want to double check.
Yep,
which
yeah,
one
and
we all
also-
agree is a unanimous.
And also, the American Special Olympics are on, so we can still do bronze, silver, gold.
We're still doing it either way.
Yeah.
regardless.
All right.
I already got my 3, but for the rest of you guys, we'll give you some time. Helv, you know what
I
to do.
think I know what our goal is going to be. Did we cover Yankees fans last week?
We did.
No, we didn't. Oh,
we
did
already
not do
had
it.
them as
We-
our
we-
shit stay in the
We
week.
had them as our goal last week, but I think there's a new unanimous goal for this week. What's one letter off of K? L. Put VG in front of the K, and then add the L.
Oh.
Vegas.
Is it Vegas?
Vegas.
Is it Vegas?
Vegas Golden Knights.
How the fuck do you go 0 for 17 in the damn shootout?
How the heck do you have a season like you just had? But anyways, for the rest of it, we might need some time. So hell, take it away.
Well, I think we all know. Actually, yeah, Vegas will be the gold for me. Silver, I do have to take a look. We'll go Brooklyn, because Brooklyn decided to fuck the ball 9 times over again.
Yeah, Brooklyn's an easy one, but I figured since we if the Knights didn't get unanimous gold, they would.
Yeah.
And the final one, oh, will baseball fans like what I'm gonna do for this one?
What?
It ain't Yankees fans, but it's
Angel Hernandez?
It's Hernandez.
That's what I thought.
You are a disgrace. Hang on, Hernandez. You are a disgrace to all referees. Please turn in your referee badge.
He can't. He's part of the umpires union.
Unfortunately,
We're screwed.
The umpires union would defend this man for some reason.
And
here's my clause for rightful termination. Everyone hates you, and you make shitty calls now and then.
Yeah. Not even now and then, all the time.
You make
like Angel Hernandez.
24/7.
God bless Kyle Schwarber for when he got tossed from that game.
Yeah.
He was like, both sides.
And
both sides, he sucked ass. We're done.
You ever think that robo could actually do something? Because at least the robo wouldn't toss you out of the game for getting the calls right.
Yep.
Robo umpires would just make things worse. You're better off with the censor.
Here's my thing. I'd say go robo umpires, but for the thing, if the robo umpire is clearly wrong, then the umpire can change it if necessary.
Here's the thing.
Like, don't give robo umpire complete control.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. You know these sensors on the side of the scoreboard with the
Chiron
squares,
yeah,
where they mark balls and strikes.
Yeah.
Use those and just announce the call up on the scoreboard.
Just make sure you get it right. Otherwise, you could end up with a 2-strike strikeout.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dorktown, for that one.
Oh, don't worry about that.
But
They're more reliable
Zep,
than Angel Hernandez.
Yep. And Zep, go and give the rest of your shit stains.
Okay, because I had change, and I'm going to need help to pull up the honorable mention, or duck if you can. But the silver, I'm going to give to the Brooklyn Nets. You guys are defining why a super team doesn't work outside of NHL 2020, NHL 22, Madden 22, etc. And because without that chemistry, you can have all the star talent you want, and yet in the end, you'll end up toast.
Go to the Golden State Warriors if you want to know how a super team works.
Or better yet, if you want to truly know how a super team works, look at the early 2000s. Look at Phil Jackson, what he managed to do before he went to the Knicks. We'll mention his time with the Knicks for a reason. With Bronze, no, his GM work in that system was bad. But then again, that's the Knicks. Bronze, I give to the NL Central. Now, you guys know I'm from Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
And you also know the Pittsburgh Pirates have been the pest comedy act in the city of Pittsburgh when it comes to sports for the past 20 plus years.
Yep.
However, somehow, some way, they are third in their division behind Reckoning's Cardinals and the Milwaukee Brewers, but somehow ahead of the Chicago Cubs, if only by tiebreaker, and the Cincinnati Reds by 6 games.
The Cincinnati Reds are a joke at this point.
Yeah.
Explain to me, the Pittsburgh Pirates, they're on the right track. I've said that before. But for me, it's like, how in the world are the Cubs and the Reds doing worse than the Pittsburgh Pirates, who have been the absolute joke of the MLB since '92?
So here's the thing with the Reds. They are the Ukrainian farmers. They are taking the tanks and rolling them all over their city.
Shameful display.
Shameful display. Reckoning.
Reckoning, do you have a tomato? Because you got to throw it yourself.
Play the sound.
It's a banner for a reason.
Play the sound.
Get the fuck out of here!
I'm proud of that joke.
As for my honorable mention, Helv, Duck, if you can find the latest uniforms for the Utah Jazz, please just pull them up. Because I want everybody to see.
Gladly.
I want everybody to see these abominations. Because keep in mind, me not being a basketball guy, I think of some teams, I think of some iconic looks. Like for the Jazz, it has to be their Mountaineer uniforms, but uniforms from right before that were also pretty good. And then they come between the current uniforms and the ones and their Mountain Era ones, they weren't bad. I still really love the Mountain Era ones because those were linked to their greatest era with Stockton Malone, and they just look great. But you guys just have to see this because even for somebody who doesn't give much mind to the way teams look in the NBA or just the NBA in general, it takes something to really catch me and make me go, "What in the world?" Let me know when you guys have that pulled up because you guys just have to see.
Pulled up.
Please just put it up on the screen, Duck, if you can. Because
the pleasure is all mine.
Also, while you're doing that, I'm going to look up something for one
Look at
of
this
mine.
cheap bullshit.
Look at this. Look at this.
No help at all here.
Here's the thing. This is the kind of thing you'd use on a default team generator in NBA 2K, or if you just wanted to use for stock footage, like a stock image of just basketball players,
This does look like a minor team affiliates jersey.
It looks like a G League team, you're right. But explain to me how you go from some decent looking jerseys to this abomination. Bring back the Mountain Air jerseys to rid our eyes of these abominations. Because what on earth is this crap?
No clue.
No clues whatsoever.
Tonight on Where's My Liquor?
Except even the drunk people are like, "Oh dear Christ!"
No, they're the ones who can't see it as bad. But where are they on? Where are they on? Apparently highlighters because that's what it looks like.
Yes. That's exactly what they look like.
Okay. Please, so I can get my eyes off those abominations. Somebody please fill in the rest because.
All right, so I'll go ahead and go. Gold Vegas, because obvious choice is obvious. Silver the Timberwolves for choking 3 games. Even then, you wouldn't expect it to beat the Grizzlies, but when you have multiple 20-point leads, you're still supposed to win those games. And bronze is the umpires and the MLB in general for the Cards-Mets game. So, guys, I need you to answer this question. What is worse? Headhunting somebody or tackling somebody?
Oh, you mean
what's worse?
Headhunting.
You mean the players getting beamed by pitches?
Yeah,
that's up league wide, and that game is kind of the pinpoint of this problem.
So go ahead and answer this question. What's worse, headhunting with baseballs or tackling somebody?
Headhunting.
Both.
Yep. So you all disagree with the MLB because they. So Nolan Arenado got ejected for tackling somebody. Okay, fair enough. Yoan Lopez didn't get ejected for throwing at Arenado's head. Was Arenado supposed to just get hit? And now
it led to that classic bench clearing brawl, baby.
Yeah, and now let's go to the suspensions.
In the background.
Yep. Let's go to the suspensions. Nolan Arenado gets 2 games, gets it reduced to 1. Genesis Cabrera gets 1 game for some reason. Yoan Lopez, who threw at Nolan's head, gets nothing. He gets a fine, no suspension, for aiming at a man's head.
And here's the thing: I know getting the hit by pitch numbers are up at an alarming rate this season, but that game, I remember reading about it the next day, and the first two words out of my mouth were, "What was that?"
Yeah,
And
then-
reckoning, you saw the entire game,
Yeah, I watched
And-
the game from start to finish.
and even you were asking, "What is this?" So
Yeah.
so reckoning, you might. I like for as much as I hate saying this, but reckoning, I have a feeling, I have a very bad feeling that we're not going to see the last of this, and it's going to, and there's,
Oh yeah.
it's
Oh, yeah,
also
in a
gonna be
couple of
beef
weeks-
is cooking.
Yeah. Oh, in a couple of weeks, we're going to see Field for a 4-game series.
Uh-oh.
Boy.
This ought to be fun.
Tuesday for
Okay.
burgers. We got
Yeah,
the
You know what?
beef.
Bruce Diaz.
Yeah.
And then
You know what?
reckoning's
Is any of the
My
games
honorable-
on ESPN?
Yeah, I don't know. And then
Screw them.
honorable.
It's got to be on pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, and
Okay,
honorable
reckoning.
mention,
Your honorable
Thomas
mention
Nito, because
too.
also in that fight, it's something from that fight because Thomas Nito, Nolan Arenado is now legally a father after what he did to you.
Oh, oh, you mean like Nito didn't even look like he looked like he was in the wrong
if-
country. Like looked like he was in the wrong
Hang
state.
on, can I share my?
Yeah,
I'm gonna share my. Yeah.
but my
Yeah,
goodness,
pause this.
Thomas
Yeah.
Nito.
Share screen. Let me share my screen, damn it.
Actually, can you send it?
Oh,
Just
allow.
if you can, Duck, find it.
Oh, he
I
got it.
got
There it
it.
is.
Wait, you got it?
Okay. Now watch.
Yeah,
Watch what happens to Thomas Nito here.
the pitcher for the Mets.
No, the catcher.
Oh, the catcher.
The catcher.
Get out of my way.
Oh, no. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
He
To be
just
fair,
yeeted
you want me to
him.
tell you something? He actually looks
No,
like a
Nolan
conflict
Arenado
referee in
is
my
legally
eyes.
your father after that.
Hey, hang on,
I-
reckoning. You want me to tell you the truth? He looks like a competent ref, unlike that umpire in my eyes.
Oh,
But yeah, that's what happens when a bouncer throws somebody out the bar.
exactly.
You just grabbed him and ragdolled him.
Yep.
Yeet.
That's a physical version of George Carlin saying, "Get the fuck out of here."
Yep. Also, who's next roast team? Duck.
Oh, I don't know. Oh,
Doug, what's your shit stains of the
I'm gonna
week?
do mine.
Alright.
For bronze, Minnesota. For bronze, Minnesota. How the fuck do you blow 23 20-point leads in 4 freaking games? Ow! Ow!
Because the ghost of
Silver.
Kevin Garnett haunts them.
Yeah.
Silver,
Tires
Also-
number.
Brooklyn Nets. For convincing everyone, oh, we're a good super team.
No, you're not.
We got the snake.
Hang on.
Oh, we got
Read that.
Irving.
Are
We're
you
good.
ready for
Go
me
to
to
the
say
ship.
I'm
You
going
don't
against the super
even
team
win
now.
a playoff.
I didn't say
You
mine.
don't even win a playoff game, let alone a series, let alone the title. So, fuck you. You are a fake super team.
Free Steve Nash.
Boys,
Gold
boys,
medal.
you want me- in my opinion,
Gold medal,
Brooklyn?
Vegas. You go 0 for 17 in the shootout
Hang
for
on.
3 straight games.
Rubbish.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep. All right.
Hang on,
All right.
okay.
Val.
Hold on, Helma's laughing now.
Okay. Since we've cooked the Nets, Valor, please serve us up some good stuff.
Okay, first one. I'm gonna start with my bronze medal this week.
Go ahead.
All right.
I'm gonna say the Minnesota Timberwolves. How do you freaking collapse like that?
Yep.
Easy.
And then your
Eat it up.
silver.
Bag up.
Okay, this is where things gets interesting. God.
Valor?
It's taking me a while for me to think about the silver one.
All right, I'm playing the Jeopardy music.
Unless, Helv, you got your 3.
I
I've
already
already
said my
did
3
his.
already.
No.
You didn't. We didn't
No,
hear
you
you.
didn't. Or if you did, you were trying to talk over somebody, so no one heard
Yeah.
it.
All right.
So we're going
Silver Angel
Oh, hang on.
Hernandez.
Vegas was
Hold
Oh,
on.
Ooh, Angel
Angel.
Hernandez is over. All right.
He.
The
Okay, Valor.
controversial strike free call, that was way outside the zone. And why do you have the audacity to eject the guy?
Yep.
There's a reason why everybody in the league despises you.
Yep.
Oh,
You make
my
absolute
Boys.
horseshit of calls.
And your gold.
My
That
goal,
is Angel
the
Hernandez. is a
Vegas Choker Knights.
Yep. Vegas.
goalie. Go Vegas.
Obvious
Hang on.
choices,
Oh,
obvious.
for
And now,
17
hell.
shootouts?
Boys, I'll
That's
restate mine 'cause
unacceptable,
you-
mate.
Yep.
It
Hell,
is
what's yours?
unacceptable. And now,
All right,
for
I'll
health.
say mine.
And now you
Gold,
will enjoy
Vegas.
being in a long off
Hang on.
season as you likely unload everybody's contracts because
Yep.
you're paying for Eichel.
Yep. And now, hell.
First off, my gold, Vegas. Eat a bag of the overfilled bag of.
I think the censors are kind of unnecessary at this rate.
Yep.
Silver.
Just light that bag
Nets.
of crap on fire.
Hang on. Nets, what the are you even on at this point?
He just wants an excuse to use his sound pad.
Yeah, but
Mainly because I want to swear at this point, and I don't want to swear.
Damn it.
And number 3,
yeah.
Hernandez. To be brutally honest, you make someone you are less incompetent than whatever Wad Reckoning showed us today. Hey, you're trash. I want you to resign. Give me your card so I can tear it up right in front of your face.
Oh yeah.
Or you can just take it and fill in because you probably do a better job. And that's saying something.
Actually, get rid of the home plate umpire. Just have all the first, second, and third base umpires. Have these, like I said, the little sensors beside the scoreboard.
box.
Have them handle the balls and strike calls. And for check swings, let the first and third base umpires handle that.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what we do.
Yep. And now
I'm a fucking
congratulations.
genius. Where is my check in the mail, Rob Manfred?
Yep. Congratulations, Golden Knights. You have 15 total votes, which means you are a shit stain of the week.
The burning you feel, it is shame.
You know how to not get in this situation? Score a fucking goal in the shootout with your season on the goddamn line.
You know
the Nets get second, and the Timberwolves get third.
You know how also not to get in the situation? Don't unload a popular player in the off season and suddenly expect this team to, compete again.
Yep.
And yeah, Knights fans, we pour out a cold one for you.
Mm-hmm.
You don't deserve this season.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, at least
not the
bandwagoners, but then again,
yeah, bandwagoners we can just rip on any day.
Yeah, and honestly, like with how bad they got whipped in the shootout, I thought they were Thomas Nito.
Oh, okay.
With that said, I think it's time that we jump into
The shout-outs.
Shout-outs.
Yeah.
You know what? Duck, because you made the room tonight.
Duck makes the room every night.
Of going first.
No, Hell usually makes the room. Anyways, huge shout out to Dodger and Egg for allowing us to promote this podcast on their servers. Huge thanks to Action Lab and Off the Wall for allowing us to put it in their servers as well. And a huge thanks to Billy for hopping in. And a huge thanks to Audina,
Kirby
and Magoat for hopping in for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
We appreciate their company. And feel free to like and subscribe. And I get to choose who's next. Valor. You're up.
Oh.
Just do your shout out people.
I'll go.
Valor's saying no.
Okay, as you can tell, the lights suddenly decided not to work for me during this entire second half. It looked like Timberwolves in their second half. But anyways, anyways,
hang on. I'm gonna play a special clip for you here.
Oh, there's a new angel in heaven.
In hell!
Thank you for that. But again, big shouts to Double A Gaming, Mortal Paralite, Truest Princess, Daddy Lucifer, Chloe Fluff, Stutters, all of you guys. For all the support you guys have shown to us coming in. We thank you. We can't thank you guys enough. But also because this is going to be a bit of a side story, but on Saturday, I officially graduated from college, and I have to say, it's as much as difficult as the 4-year road has been. There have been a lot of people who I've worked aside that made it all the better, and the one that I introduced this podcast to has been with me the entire way. RJ Garrison, if you're watching, my dude, we thank you, and to everybody who I work with, got to know. I can't thank you guys enough, and to better days ahead. We hope they come soon. But meanwhile, thank you.
All right.
Zep, you have power to choose who's going next.
Okay, let's make it Rick.
All right. Although before I go, let's keep the camera on Zep for a little bit. Let's go.
All right.
Go back to Zep for a little bit because doesn't he look like the guy from Hello Neighbor?
Oh my god.
Oh shit!
Actually, we tried to go Valor.
Exactly my
Go
point.
Valor.
That was the face.
All right.
Okay, I turned my cam on for this one. I'd like to thank my usual suspects: Dodger, Ag, everybody in the tree server, my therapist, of course, and anyone who was in finals week. Keep your head up. Don't forget to study all you need. And also, I look like a discount Ag.
Yep.
Fair enough.
There's worse things to look like. Much worse.
Still,
See
could
me.
be worse.
Yep.
Reckoning. You're up next.
Also,
Yep.
I'd like to remind someone, GDR, if you're somehow watching this, please get out of my head.
Nope.
All right.
Are you saying he
Okay,
lives
you're
rent free in your head, Valid?
Yes, he does. Yes, he does with the man with jokes.
Okay,
Well, so do I.
Rick.
Well, that goes for me too.
So yeah. Thanks for everyone who decided to show up. Thanks again, Action Lab. I'll be over there soon to help mod. Yeah, thanks to everyone who allowed us to promote in your servers. And let's just keep going. Hell.
I have the final word.
Yep.
Word as usual, I guess. Well, of course, I want to say thank you guys for watching this actually as a full-on respect. 47 episodes. We're nearing 50 already. Oh my gosh.
Salt will be had that day.
Salt will be have. This one will be one of them. And it'll be an interesting one as we speak. As well as possibly for our year episode. For the episode that marks 1 year on this show.
Oh yeah.
I think that's coming up. I think
Yeah.
we started this project this month. Like
Actually, we started on Twitch. I can go and look it up when we started real quick.
Yeah.
I am gonna say this for the first time in this group's history. This has been one of the most epicest moments that I've ever had. Talking with you guys about sports, and I just can't thank you guys enough for being a part of a team. I mean, I love this team as much as I love what I do. Well, apart from refereeing. But yeah, you guys get my drift.
Mm-hmm.
The
Also,
only other thing that I'm going to say is huge thanks to everyone that has been shouted out. And I also want to throw a couple bones to the USF, the United Shitposting Federation. To be honest, by the time that this thing's turning 1 year old, we've started doing live streams for the tournament, actually.
Yep.
For the shitposting tournament.
Over on Health Twitch, go check him out there.
Oh,
shameless
yeah,
promo.
Yeah, shameless promotion. All I can say is this is going to be one of the most beautiful moments in my history of doing this shenanigans. And I get to do it with Dumb Gamers and Melee. Dumb Gamers, you know what? Duck, you want to throw Dumb Gamers' Twitch into the stream chat if that's possible?
I can do it.
Yeah. So with that said, I'm gonna be streaming anyways tonight again at 7:15.
So
with that said,
in 40 minutes.
Yeah,
That's
40.
All right, just
Zep.
30 minutes.
Yeah. With that said,
said-
Zep, you have one more message before we go.
I do. I feel very bad that I forgot about this, but
Go ahead.
I mentioned the name Moral Paralyte, but also a friend who I've gotten to know through our community, Balti Horse. Both communities lost a very valuable member in Grandma Kelpid about on the 25th of April. She was having back surgery to hopefully help with that, and passed away at the age. She passed away at the age 55. But for all that she's done, for the communities, for Balti Horse and Mortal, and all the communities that they raided and introduced Grandma Kelpid to her family, we salute Grandma Kelpid for everything she's done. We hope that in her afterlife she's found all sorts of happiness and a whole bunch of cookies to enjoy, because that was her favorite. But to Balti, to Mortal, if you're listening to this, even though this is a little while ago, she's still with us in our thoughts, and may she rest in peace.
I do have one other thing to say on my behalf as well.
All right.
Well, and earlier this last month...
Helv?
There you go.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Earlier this last month, an ex-bowling team of mine passed as well. His name was Zachary Lowe. Passed away right after graduating high school. Well, and to his family and all the co-workers at Sandcastle Lanes, I just want to say my condolences, and I'm praying for you guys. As a respectful member of the sporting community within where I am. And I do want to say that from the bottom of my heart.
Ooh.
So, Zach, rest in peace, man. Rest in peace, little man.
All right.
And with that said, that's the end of this episode.
Yep. Also, your earliest streams aren't up on Twitch. I can't find the exact day.
Hang on, I can do a quick.
But we thank everybody who tuned in. If you can, like, comment, subscribe, and if we catch your suggestion for topics that we cover may end up in our next episode.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Take it away, somebody.
And with that, bye everybody.
Be sure to like and subscribe for more episodes, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.
Yeah.
Good night, Pittsburgh.
Good night, Vancouver.
Bye, Tennessee.
Good night, Baltimore.